Yo, Ja, I've been seeing that as in the past streams, you play a lot of fighting games. What exactly is your tips in improving? Um, Tips in improving. Um, there's a lot of pointers I can give you, but getting better is just well, one thing's for sure, you need to be like ultra motivated. Like you need to actually like have the mindset to improve. Like you have to have like the mindset that you need to have at least you have to be open-minded to anything when it comes to involvement to the improvement. Like you have to like maybe accept the fact that maybe you don't know everything and maybe you don't know a lot of things about the game, depending on what status you are, at least. Like if you fairly know the game or have been playing the game for a while, and you know the mechanics, the system, and the tech and everything, then the tips of improving for that is just continue to just keep on grinding and then afterwards like just find your small habits and try to like take those out of it. Mainly focus well, this is not mainly, like focus on getting rid of the habits that you've had in the past, at least. And if you like find yourself, like if you're grinding with some peeps and you are still in this wall that you can't improve, that you're still losing, like in every grind that you're doing, at least have like small victories. Like for example, if like for example, like if you go to do a match, like you know, I didn't win this match and everything, but at least I was able to at least my anti-air game was like doing way better, because back then I wasn't really good at like flating out anti-airs when people were approaching me like from the air. You know, at least I'm doing more anti-airs now, and or I may have lost the game, but at least I'm able to block his blocks. I'm able to block the block strings he was doing on me, and well, I was punishing him accordingly. Those kind of small victories, you know, those stuff. It doesn't. When it comes to those things, you don't always have to like when it comes to like victories and stuff. Victories doesn't always mean that you always have to like you have to win the match. Like it's an obligation for you to win the match. Like small victories also like improvement in some way. You know, you get grab less. You are able to like read where he's going, or at least you're able to like get away where what exactly what he's looking for. You know, small victories. Always have small victories, because if you don't, trust me, the game and grinding would be much blander and be more boring. The game would start to get more boring for you. Small victories are really important, at least in my opinion. But if you want to improve, and you like, for example, if you are new to the game or you've played the game and just want to start on competitively, like you had the game for a while and you want to start on the game competitively, then you have to have the mindset that you know what, I've played this game for a long time, I know the mechanics, but I maybe have to accept the fact that I don't know everything about it. I don't know what every character has, their plus moves and what their minus is, and what's safe on this and whatnot. What character this is looking for. You have to have the mindset that even though you've played the game for a long while, or you just picked up the game, you're still a new player. You're still technically a new player, and you wanna get out of that status of being a novice, like being a novice. I know someone personally who has a fighting game for a long time, and they still play like a novice because they didn't bother exploring what the game gives you, and they didn't grind, but they still play like a novice, and they still think that they know everything about the game. That's where your first step is, just breaking out of that shell that you have to admit to yourself that, you know, I don't know everything, and that's where improvement starts. and at that point, like there's things you start to like. There are things that you start to like train on. Like if you want to improve, first of all, you have to improve while having fun. In my opinion, for me, the learning process is always the fun part. And a lot of people don't like the learning process. For me personally, it's the fun part when it comes to fighting games, or even even doesn't have to be specifically fighting games. It can be any game. The learning curve and learning about the game itself, or learning about that certain thing, is the fun part, because you get to learn new stuff and whatnot. So it can be like, where do I start? Okay, I could go training mode, but then again, I don't want to listen to a song for 4 hours and be practicing combos for the next 4 hours. Nah, you don't have to necessarily be in training mode or do the trials mode to like get, or for the game to let you know what this character's combos are and whatnot. It depends on where you want to start. Do you want to get good in neutral first? Like in your neutral game, you want to get good in your combos first? Do you want to get good in how you punish? Do you want to get good in how you play defensively? Those things. It's always got to be step by step. Because obviously all of those skills doesn't come in one go. Like you can't develop something so quickly like that. Like all of those skills don't immediately go level 2. You always got to work on one thing at a time. The process takes longer, but you'll definitely become a better player that way. Your improvement comes slowly, and depends on the player. Obviously, if a player is really good or has been playing a fighting games in a long time, or depending on any other game, they can work on all those skills and just like that they already leveled up. Or unless they already obviously, like for example, if I already have those skills because I had attained those skills on a different game, and I'm just going to another game that I'm learning new stuff, I don't need to work on those. I'm just learning what the game is and what mechanics it brings me, and grasping what the neutral game on that certain game is, or at least that certain fighting game is. So yeah, there's that. Also, like, you don't have to worry about tier lists and whatnot. Just play a character that you find really fun and that you're comfortable with, and there's that. And matchup charts and all those things come after. Honestly, you don't have to worry about all those, because honestly, the only thing that you need to do is just recognizing that you're still a new player, and for now, like, just have fun. Have fun and see where it goes from there, and then maybe start working on those skills one by one. Like, definitely work on those skills slowly. Like, ease yourself into it, and you don't have to forcefully understand everything that is to know about the game, because I've done technically that one time in like Smash Ultimate. Like, I've done that before, where I forcefully had to make sure I had all these knowledges and had all of these things that I needed to know for me to actually win games and try and win tournaments. What happened is I got burned out with the game so fast because I tried so hard on finding what this thing that I still didn't understand about the game, and freaking I just got burned out with the game. I just didn't even want to play it at all. Like, I spent a lot of time didn't even play it. Hence, that's also like one of the origins to why I play more fighting games than Smash sometimes. And then afterwards, I just realized that, these things just come slowly. You just have to just play the game and have fun. Usually, you find these things when you're learning and having fun at the same time, obviously. But of course, it's more helpful if you have someone to help you with this. Like, it definitely helps if you have someone to tell you these things. It makes the process much faster. Like, you have to recognize yourself as a new player Like, you're learning these things, but also do not be afraid to just ask help, like, at all. If you have someone who actually is willingly like wants you to improve and will spend time for you to teach you all these things, then go find that certain person. Like, contact them, go to message them. I don't give a crap. And it's not, and if you don't have that certain person, just go on Discord. Discord has like a lot of servers who helps you with these things. Don't be afraid to ask. Like, don't be afraid to ask at all. I've had someone one time personally, or someone legit couldn't. This was like a few months back. I won't mention names though. Someone who literally just couldn't find like a way to just beat me and at all, until finally he asked me like certain things on what he wants to improve in. He finally just put his pride aside, like, hey man, like, I just need your help. Like, what do I do and this and whatnot. And then, you know what, I'm like, yeah, I gave him pointers, and then now here we are, actually, like, at best we're like almost even now. Like, he's definitely improving, and obviously I'm at the same time also improving. Everyone is like improving in a certain way. Obviously it's much easier for someone to level up when they're new, because yeah, they're learning new things, and like it's the leveling up for a newbie is much different compared to a person who just played the game for a long while already. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. It's a huge help if you just ask questions. What's this and whatnot? So yeah, you just remember, you just have, that just goes back to what I've said before. That comes in the mindset of being a new player. Just being open to everything, and just knowing that this game I just gotta learn, like, as a new player, and then that way I can learn more things. At least that's how I see it. There are probably people who can probably just say it differently or more constructively. That's at least what I would say in the top of my head.